Top Shot Chris Cheng is in the studio.
Hello. Good
No,
afternoon.
you can't talk yet. I got to spend some money.
Very coordinated, professional
Very
show
much.
here, Chris.
You're never going to get your Oscar.
Dang.
Hey, we are so proud to partner with the National Concealed Carry Association as a 10-ring partner. NCCA exists to serve the Second Amendment community by providing a nationwide network of 2A advocates. Offers elite self-defense and concealed carry training from the nation's top instructors and provide rock-bottom prices on the best selection of gear and accessories. Join them today. Members get great prices and free shipping. Learn more about them at the National Concealed Carry Association.com. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, Mr. Cheng.
Hello.
Hey,
I can
go,
talk
man.
now, right?
Yes, you can
Okay.
talk.
Phew.
No,
I got permission.
yes, you did.
How did you? So we were talking when you were before you came in the studio. We were talking about Gun Prom. Did you enjoy?
Gun Prom was incredible. And, I've been a Second Amendment advocate for the past 10 years, traveled all across the country, been to so many counties here in California, and I have never seen anything as impressive and successful, especially at a county level, right, as last night's Gun Prom, right, seeing 1,000 attendees from all different walks of life and ethnic backgrounds and just you name it. It was an incredible event. I'm really impressed, and hats off to everyone here at San Diego County Gun Owners and all the volunteers and staff members. It was really impressive.
And we only had 999.
Wow.
Thank you, Chris. That means a lot. Thank you. The thing I'll tell you real quick. When we started San Diego County Gun Owners, I definitely wanted a Second Amendment celebration dinner. I wanted a nice big showpiece, and I wanted to grow it in size and importance. And I remember thinking, I want it to be so big that and so important that gun shops close early so that they can attend. And this was the first year that happened.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was cool. On Facebook, I follow all the gun shops on Facebook, and at least 3 of them, posted that, hey, we're closing early. One gun shop completely closed all day. And that was kind of cool.
Oh, they were the drunks in the corner?
Yeah. I know that's kind of a small, but it was just kind of neat. That was a neat little thing where it's like, hey, cool.
Well, it's a sign of acceptance.
Yeah,
I would think.
And for me, it's indicative of that there is a ground shift that's been happening here over the past 5-6 years since y'all have been doing this amazing work here. And, I'm an Orange County native. I was born in Mission Viejo. My mother-in-law, is also here in San Diego. So it's like I know Southern California, and I grew up here. But, when I was growing up, was talking about the Second Amendment and, like, gun culture, CCW, that just wasn't really a thing that happened out in the open, like at a gun prom. Right. And so to see the amount of people, the amount of political support also that I saw last night, like the cultural tides here are distinctly changing here in California. And I think what stood out to me the most is seeing proud gun owners last night, right? There's this culture, I think, of fear and intimidation that a lot of the gun control groups, they try and shame gun owners, right? That every time there's some mass shooting, it's like, oh, right, gun owners, right, we're somehow complicit, right, in these crimes. Like, that's just absolutely not true. And we all have to have the courage of our convictions to stand up and say, right, I'm a gun owner, and I believe in a free and safe republic, and that a big part of that is my right and your right and your right and everyone's right to own a firearm, as long as, right, we're not committing any crimes. And so last night's Gun Prom, I like I said, I just think it was jaw-dropping and incredibly impressive to see. For me, it was just really obvious that things are moving in the right direction for gun rights, particularly here in San Diego, and I think here in Southern California, and hopefully, I'm in San Francisco, so I hope that one of these days that that tide and that momentum will come up north, and we'll take back our state is really what this is about.
Well, that's huge praise. Thank you, Chris. That's very, very awesome. I think my next goal is I want not just one but 2 really popular gun competitors. To not from San Diego, but to actually come in from out of town just to attend Gun Prom, then I know we've made it. Maybe even the cherry on the cake could be one of them could be black, the other one could be Asian, and that.
You can get them on the radio.
Do you know anybody?
And then they stay long enough to be on the radio. Then I know
she's grabbing the mic.
But until then, it's just another. I'm sorry. All right.
Well,
No, you're
thank you
not.
for inviting us.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
right.
It was awesome. So, Chris, talk about your big donation to the dinner.
Yeah, so last night we had a silent auction item. It was the RECOIL magazine issue 56 with me on the cover advocating for this simple message that the Second Amendment is for everyone, right? Hashtag 2A for all specifically is this what this cover art represents. And particularly it's about reaching out to the LGBT community and to the Asian community and making a very clear stand that the Second Amendment is not just for white people,
Right.
it's for everyone.
Even though he did win the book.
Yeah, so yeah, the auction item was great, right? It was a autographed, copy of the magazine plus a copy of this great shirt that I'm wearing.
Is
And
that
it was
the
in
shirt?
This is the shirt.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great shirt, and right. So
What's
it was
the story behind the shirt?
Yeah, the shirt. Well, I just bought it on Amazon, believe it or not.
You didn't
But-
make it?
No, I did not make it. But for me, like I chose this shirt because so what it is
Open your
is
jacket.
it is a distressed American flag in LGBT rainbow colors.
Right.
And for me, it represents the hyper polarized environment and controversial cancel culture that we live in today. That for me, it's really unacceptable, right? That we're losing the ability to have civil conversations
Yeah.
where we may not agree on everything, but at least let's talk about it. And for me, as a diversity and inclusion advocate, I believe that diversity and inclusion should be everywhere, right? Doesn't
I'd wear
matter,
that shirt.
right? Whether it's in the Second Amendment space, the First Amendment space, in corporations, what is life about, right? Life is about having a diverse set of friends and thinkers, attitudes and opinions, because that's what makes life interesting, right? When we don't have this mono-think culture and group-think culture, but we can have a competition of ideas, right? That's a big part of what capitalism and what freedom is based on is this free-flowing conversation and competition of ideas. It's less about people; it's more about right. What does freedom and liberty mean versus authoritarianism and government control?
Right.
So that's what this shirt stands for me, and that the LGBT community, right? We're just as American as everybody else. We just want to be left alone. We don't want the government intruding in our lives. We want to protect ourselves, right? Whether it's with a firearm or with whatever means, right? We just want to be safe and happy and live our American dream just like everybody else here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well said.
Yeah. So John, no, to talk about the big cutting edge technology thing.
So
I sound
right.
like my dad.
Yeah,
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
So yeah, last week I was on the show. We were talking about this new technology called NFT, right? Non-fungible tokens. But the easiest way to think about it is it's just this new form of digital collectibles. It's just mind-blowing to see how, as an example, the NBA. The NBA, they have a brand called Top Shot. Nothing to do with my Top Shot that I was on the History Channel, but the NBA has sold over $700 million worth of NFTs in the form of video collector's cards.
Wow.
They have over 500,000 users, $700 million plus in annual revenue. And this is just in 1 year, right? In one short year, this NFT technology is opening up opportunities for brands, for sports leagues, to connect and reach their audiences in ways that we never before imagined. So I'm excited for the potential of NFTs in the firearm space for the gun community. I have this RECOIL auction starting this Tuesday where we are minting 10 copies of the RECOIL cover magazine that I'm on, and we are auctioning off this first ever of its kind digital art.
That's
right?
awesome.
And yeah, it's groundbreaking. There's this whole digital art movement, right? That's also happening. So this is the first shot across the bow. I'm really excited for some more things that I'm working on with NFTs, but this is again, yeah, it's the opening salvo, as they say.
Wow.
That's very cool. I can't tell you how I think this is our. I mean, have you like featured this anywhere else? Is this the first event where you featured this?
Hey, if you have legal matters that involve firearms that you need to call Attorney John Dillon, especially if you have questions about red flag laws, gun registration, gun transportation, or maybe you need to know that your guns are California compliant. Call our trusted firearms attorney, John Dillon. John Dillon specializes in California gun laws, 760-642-7150. Or you can just go to his website at dillonlawgp.com. All right, let's get back to that collectible thing that you can't put in your pocket.
What are they? Non-frangible?
Non-fungible token.
Fungible.
Fungible.
Yeah.
And the question was, you generously donated one to our dinner last night, which John Dillon won, right?
So yeah, the fun bonus multiplier that John is now eligible for is this NFT digital art auction that I'm holding with RECOIL magazine that starts this Tuesday at nft.recoilweb.com. Now, if John is one of the top 5 winners of the actual NFT auction, he gets an extra ticket to the in-person fun shoot that me and RECOIL that we're going to be holding at a future date. So, yeah,
wow.
more free guns and ammo.
Can he bring a friend? Or?
Exactly. John can bring whoever he wants. So, let's say there's a friend here maybe in the studio that he wants to bring.
Or 4 of them.
Yeah.
So
Stop looking over there.
Let's
Look
go
over here.
Let's go back. Let's go back to
help
this fungible thing. Is it something you could put in your hand?
It's all digital, right?
So you can't hold it in your hand and look at it.
No, well, you can look at it if it's on maybe your phone or on your computer.
Okay.
Right? It's a brand new way of collecting items, right?
How does it show
digital.
value? How does it generate value?
So yeah, right. There's this it's a digital ecosystem, right, where you have authenticated proof of ownership, right? It's almost like digital rights management that is. It's transparent. It's publicly available. If I own a particular this RECOIL cover art that I'm auctioning off, I am the content creator, right? And everyone's going to see if you're bidding on one of these 10 RECOIL NFTs, right, that it's coming from me, right? And so there's like in the real world, quote unquote, right? Where does value derive from, right? It can derive from what is the item itself,
right?
And if it's a particular piece of art, for example, that evokes emotion, right? If you are all for the Second Amendment, if you're about spreading that freedom and that liberty to all corners of our country, that's what this cover art stands for. So, right, value can derive from does the art mean something to viewers and consumers? Also, right, where is it coming from, right? It's one thing if there's just some random person, right, who's creating art, but you don't know who they are, you don't know who the artist is, or you don't know who the owner is. But with this new digital collectible format, people can see, okay, right, it's coming from Shot Chris Cheng. I'm a public person, a known entity and quantity. So that's where additional value comes in. This is an official partnership with RECOIL magazine, right? So there's additional authenticity and proof of content creation.
Where do you store it? Can you store it on your phone?
You create a digital wallet, right? So there's all these new companies, right, that are basically providing digital wallet services.
Okay.
So you can store your NFTs. You can store your Bitcoin, right, or your other cryptocurrencies in your digital wallet.
Where is that at?
There's many places.
In my back pocket?
Not in your back pocket, unless it's on your phone. But
you wouldn't want it on your phone. What if you lost your phone?
So here's actually the in brief. So you can have your digital wallet stored online on the internet, but you can also have your digital wallet goods stored offline on a mobile device like your phone that some people actually put it on airplane mode and they'll stick it in a safe deposit box, like in a bank or in a gun safe or in a safe in your home. So basically it reduces the hackability, right?
Is it a chip? I mean, is it like an SD card?
No, it's just software, right? It's basically, You're
not going to convince me. Unless I can touch it. Am I Are you losing me, Mike? Or am I losing you?
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I also understand what he's saying. Yeah. And I'm wondering if there's a delta.
Yeah, so I want to go back. this NBA Top Shot experience, right? This is a real world example,
Right.
You have 500,000 new users who have signed on to this website, right? And they've paid over $780 million in a year buying, trading, and selling clips of their favorite NBA players,
Okay.
slam dunks, and all sorts of game-winning shots. They're in the whole concept of digital goods. It's existed for at least 20 some years, mostly in games. It's like people who pay 99 cents, for the power up, or you buy a weapon, or you buy extra lives, right? So these are all sort of forms of digital goods, right? But the difference between then and now is when you're buying, let's say, right, a digital weapon, usually it lives in that game and you can't. It's not portable.
Get it out. Yeah,
you can't use that digital weapon in other games, but here's this new technology that can allow me to use items in my digital wallet across different ecosystems, whether it's a game, whether I want to trade them. I was actually talking to John Dillon last night about he's got a relative who used to play Diablo, and this is a computer game where you basically can create weapons and armor, and he had a relative who made enough money where he bought a Hummer.
Wow.
In real life. Basically creating these weapons and digital goods and selling them to other players.
Really?
Right? So this has existed for decades, but it's now really coming into the applications for it are tremendous.
They're endless.
And for the gun community, I think there are just radically mind-blowing implications for how we can use this technology to abstract the conversation around gun rights. And so what I mean by that is, if you're going to be collecting digital cards, right, of firearms, that's much less controversial than actually collecting firearms, right? And if you have a global audience who could buy a collector's card of their favorite, handgun, shotgun, AR-15, whatever, it's a way for us to open up those conversations, right? If you are collecting radios or baseball cards, right, there's a conversation, right? There's a culture of conversation and talking about the things you collect in real life or things that you collect online, right? It's a way for us to open up the Second Amendment discussion to new audiences who maybe at first they're just going to, collect NFT guns, but right, they're going to run into someone at some point in the same ecosystem who's going to be like, hey, you know what? Here's why I bought this AR-15 NFT, because I believe in the Second Amendment. Or, hey, I own a real AR-15. You want to go to the range and shoot with me and see what the differences between this digital collectible and the real thing, right? So I think there's a lot of conversations and opportunity for us to educate and to spread gun culture and have these great, rich conversations.
Joe?
Yes.
What do you think? You're awful quiet over there.
I did beat Diablo first weekend I had it, by the way.
Did you?
Wow,
Of course
there
you
you
did.
go. And your Hummer is where?
I didn't get a Hummer for it.
I wonder how many upgrades did you buy?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this before, Ursula?
No, I have not. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Because we both like tangible.
Yeah, I want
tangible
to hold
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I want
hold
to.
it. Instead of just something digital where I feel like it could fail. I think that's probably why I don't really run red dots on pistols. It's because of the whole technology thing. Because red dots will fail.
Well, see, and that was my thinking on it too.
Well, it took you long enough.
Well, I was about to answer, and then I lost it again.
Sorry.
No, that's what I was thinking. Exactly what you are, because I just went through this the other night with the Gun Prom thing, where they said you could put this once you do the express check-in, you could put this in your digital wallet. And I was thinking, I don't have one of those. I don't want one of those. Because I part of it's a generational thing too. It's like.
But you're a tangible guy as well.
Well, yeah, and I understand exactly what Chris is saying, and it's cool and everything, but I hate that I have to have one of these in the first place, and I'm trying to get away from that rather than get.
Yeah, but it
more
wouldn't
into
necessarily go there.
But you said it earlier. It's a generational thing.
Yeah,
this is a way to get in the younger generation the guns. Because what a lot of gun makers or even a lot of your gunsmiths have been doing for a while is mocking guns in a lot of video games. So that's when a lot of the theme pistols came up, or there's ARs designed as the Mandalorian, and there's all types of of styles and designs out there where kids see these guns in these video games, and then when they become of age, they're like, hey, I really want to shoot that gun.
Yeah, and if that works, that's a great way in. Yeah,
so
that's
I think
a great
this would
way
be
to
a
use
good way
that.
to get your younger generations in, the ones that are dependent on or a little more versed in a lot of digital stuff. Like it took me like
You
forever.
were right the first time. Depended.
Definitely dependent.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm like.
You were right the first time.
But I'm in that generation where it's like, I'd rather have something tangible, but I'm still gonna get some crypto because on the off chance that everybody's right about this.
I still read the newspaper. You know,
I still got to diversify.
I still read the newspaper. You know what I mean? I like the newspaper. I like magazines.
Yeah. Every single bathroom in my house has a whole bunch of magazines and stuff. Just in case you forget your phone.
But you can get that online.
Yeah. But I actually do like having tangible magazines.
But Chris, I totally get where you're coming from. You're not dealing with us older generation.
Right. And, I think part of it is, right, we have newer generations who've grown up in a digital first,
they know nothing
only
else.
Right, environment. And what I'm trying to say here is that we need to go to where the puck is going. Right? If we're going to take the hockey,
is that in hockey?
Yes, indeed. Right? It's like, right, you can't go to where the puck is. You have to go to where the puck is going, right? If you want to win, right? If you want to win the game, right? We have to understand the trends that are happening. It doesn't matter whether, us as an individual, right, wants to collect digital items. Right. It's about understanding that there are millions of people who do. Right. And this is the next frontier of I think social impact, of cultural discussions, also just fun, right? Part of my excitement about digital collectibles is, I want to bring a new level of fun to firearms and firearms culture and conversation and how we learn about gun history. And I see NFTs and digital collectibles as
how many do you have?
I own 4 NFTs at the moment. None of them are guns, though, but 2 basketball ones. I might be bidding on some art here soon. But anyways, I think the point is, when I think about like how an organization such as San Diego County Gun Owners, right, could utilize an NFT, like digital collectible format. One piece that's going on here is, so people like to have memorabilia about their experiences, right? So let's say as part of buying my 2022 Gun Prom ticket, right, that I get a digital badge, right, that says I went to Gun Prom 2022. And then, next year after that, right, people can collect all of these badges,
pins, like the old pins, and
yes, and it's similar. Like there are gun folks who have patch boards, right? So they collect patches, right, and they're peacocking, right, showing off all the patches and coins and badges that they have. There's a very similar
Is that the
dynamic
new word
here.
now? Peacocking.
Yeah, well, it's everyone loves to show off their stuff, but
us?
Yeah. One last idea, right? So there's this other concept of fractional ownership. So if you can imagine, right, maybe San Diego County Gun Owners sells a $5 NFT that is $5 worth of a partial membership, right? And every few months you can release another NFT, collect your badge, and basically help people build their way up to, additional membership levels. And again, it's like a great branding opportunity for San Diego County Gun Owners, or really any organization that wants to get in on this.
I know somebody that works there. I'm going to run these ideas by him and see what he says.
You need to get a hobby. No, I'm only kidding.
I'm so offended.
I know you are.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.